For years, the Topaz Awards has evoked the glamour of the past by honoring women and men in the present. This occasion allows us to recognize the outstanding contributions, dedication, and trailblazing efforts of the individuals with ties to the Lone Star State. Past recipients of the Topaz Awards are of veritable who's who of achievement, offering inspiration and vision to all who attend. The Topaz Awards provides an opportunity to express our gratitude to these women and men as role models in the entertainment industry. So first up, I would like to call up the presenters for the Rising Star Award. The Women in Film Dallas President, Tiffany Vollmer, and Vice President, Gail Kornauer.
Thank you, Nikki, so much for being here tonight. Great job. Hello, my name is Tiffany Vollmer. I'm the president of Women in Film Dallas 2022, and this is Gail Kornauer, our vice president. The Rising Star Award goes out to a woman who's young in her career that is reaching for the stars, and this year's recipient is very worthy of that. And to learn a little bit more about her, I'd like to have Gail introduce us to our rising star.
All right, so this is great because I was just sitting next to a rising star, and I said, I'm going to say a few things about you. I hope this is okay. All right, so here we go. Joy, this is for you. I have the privilege of introducing this year's Rising Star recipient, an actress, voice talent, writer, and champion of body positivity, Joy Nash. Yay! Joy grew up in Redlands, California, but was born in Dallas. She graduated from USC with BA degrees in sociolinguistics, I love that word, and theater. In 2007, she received a Webby Award for her groundbreaking YouTube video, A Fat Rant. With humor and intelligence and passion, she called on us to change the way we think about our bodies, challenging us to tell people how much you weigh. The video went viral with over 2 million views, making her a social media star before we even knew what that was. She implored women to stop putting off that vacation or new bathing suit or wedding dress until they lost 30 pounds because, as she said, all we have is today. In 2012, she shot Locked Up Abroad in Manila, working with prison inmates as extras in the production. The footage is absolutely incredible. Joy starred as Plum Kettle in AMC's revolutionary, and we are talking about a revolution, Dietland, with Juliana Margulies and producer Marty Noxon, so ahead of its time that it lasted for 1 season. The show's battle cry, join the revolution, so who knows, it may be back. Joy has narrated over 85 books for Audible and Penguin Random House and appeared in the MTV Awards nominated, I have to say this, Joy, Big Bad Wolf music video. No, it's not the song with the 3 little pigs. Google it, and you gotta see it to believe it. Have a glass of wine or something before you watch it, you probably. Women in Film Dallas is thrilled to honor Joy for all that she has accomplished, and we look forward to all the wonderful work to come. And now, we have
The slideshow.
a video.
Yes, video.
I get it. You love me, you were scared, I get it, I'm sorry. But I'm not a child, and I'm not a moron.
We don't think that.
I don't want to be a glamazon. I just want to get on an airplane and not have to apologize to the person I sit next to. I want to go to a bar and get hit on by some bald guy, and I want us to argue about whether said bald guy is actually into me or whether he just wants to get laid.
I know.
You don't! Steven, you can't! Going off why I got my feelings back, and it made me remember why I wanted them gone.
Don't say that, honey.
No. What I realized was I don't hate myself. The world hates me for being like this. Every day I walk around in this skin People look at me like I have the plague. They act like I'm a stain. They stare and laugh and yell. Worst of all, they tell me I have such a pretty face. And then they lecture me on how I can fix my body. Because how I am is wrong.
That's not true.
It is true. You can't see it because you love me. When my own heart went to crap 5 years ago, they cut me open and put it in. This powers the machine inside me so it can pump blood, you know, like hearts do when they're not crap. I'm basically a battery-operated woman. Saved my life.
Why is it beeping?
Oh, must need a battery change.
Tad, I'll find him.
This is my fault. I didn't need to see a doctor.
Stop that. They're my batteries. They're my responsibility. I forgot them. Here we are. Pay attention, Joyce. Social security numbers, bank account passwords, the combo for the lock on my bike. I know nobody rides it, but just in case. In the left-hand drawer in the laundry room are the appliance warranties and also the instructions for the remote control. I guess you get to watch your game shows every night after all. Joyce.
All this time. Your heart, the batteries. I thought I was taking care of you. But you've been taking care of me.
We've been taking care of each other. All right, here's where I keep the gold.
Gold?
I'm kidding. But I do have that jar of pennies in the pantry.
Lorraine, she's lived in fear of this disease her entire life. Her mom died of it. Her mom's mom.
Sorry to hear that.
None of that made it any easier when Lorraine got the diagnosis herself.
Do you remember ever being evaluated by a doctor for Alzheimer's disease?
Of course she doesn't remember. She has Alzheimer's.
Cindy, why don't we step outside?
Get the hell out of here!
Put your hands behind your back.
What's happening? What the hell is this?
You're under arrest for felony forgery and bank fraud.
I don't understand.
I'm not saying anything without a lawyer.
All I'm saying is you might be surprised what even 10 to 15 pounds can do to exacerbate joint pain.
Got it. So if I just figure out how not to be fat, all my problems will magically go away. Thank you. 0 stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Joy Nash. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. What an introduction. And so much crying up there. Wow, thank you. Like she said, I was born in Dallas, but I moved pretty quickly when I was a child. So I didn't grow up eating at Dickie's Barbecue Pit or getting midnight tacos at the Taco Cabana, but my very best friend did. And I feel like I've leached a lot of her Texanness into myself. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, but I'm going to. Thank you. Yeah, one of the last times I was in Texas was for her bachelorette party. She got married here in Waxahachie, and we had her bachelorette party was at the state fair, and it was so good. We rode all the rides, we ate all the food, and we left at midnight, and that was the last night Big Tex had on Earth. He burned to the ground that night, remember? I'm not confirming or denying anything, I just want you to know that. But as I was coming here, I don't want to break this. Yeah, I'll be careful. Sorry. Thank you so. What was I saying? Oh, on my way here, I was thinking about a lot of the projects that I've done, and like 75 to 80%, which is a very scientific number I pulled directly from my brain. Most of the projects I've done have been produced, written, or directed by women. And that's not something that, yeah, thank you.
And that wasn't by design. Specifically, I didn't go out looking for projects helmed by women, but I think it's because it was women who took a chance on someone like me. It was women who were willing to give me opportunities and to tell stories that showcased a fat girl, like she was interesting, like I was worthy, like what I had to do was important. I'm not a type that you see a lot in the media, but I'm here. You know, I'm working, and I'm here because those women saw me. Thank you. And they saw me not just as the funny fat friend or the suspiciously young grandmother, but as a leading lady. So thank you for that. And I want to close with a quick story. A lot of times I think that we're working on projects and we think that they're too small to make a difference. And at least that's what I thought when I wrote a monologue called A Fat Rant. It was a college assignment. I was taking a solo performance class, and I wrote this monologue about body image and size acceptance, and performed it when I could around town at like open mics and things, which was really bizarre because open mics are for like music and stand-up comedy, and I'm up here like doing a monologue. But I always got good feedback, and I always just had that in my head. Fast forward like 5 years, I'm lying on my bed feeling sorry for myself because nothing is happening in my career. And I couldn't fathom a way to get from that bed onto the television set. I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't even see myself on TV. And the thought occurred to me, my friend Dan has a video camera. So I asked him to shoot that monologue I have, and I thought, well, at least I'll have a reel, at least I'll have some footage, which is laughable now in retrospect, that it's like embarrassing to look at anyway. But that's what I did. I shot this video, and he edited it together, and we put it on YouTube, which was 1 year old at the time. And it went viral, like you said. 2 million people watched it. There was an LA Times article about me, a New York Times. They flew me to New York to be on the morning shows. It had a little moment. And one of the people who saw the video was a woman named Saray Walker, who told me that it was one of the things that helped her in her journey towards radical fat acceptance, towards changing her life, and becoming a person that would write a novel like the book Dietland. So she wrote this book, which then another woman, Marty Noxon, saw in an airport bookstore and picked it up, read it, and decided to turn into a TV show that I auditioned for and then got to star in on AMC and now Hulu. So I just want to say that what you do makes a difference, even though you think that, even if you're only touching the people in your immediate sphere, because you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what you're capable of. And if you do, get it. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so thrilled and grateful for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joy. And thank you, Tiffany and Gail, for presenting. Watching that video, Joy, I think I've seen all of those episodes. I saw The Resident, and I saw Grey's Anatomy, and I just have to ask, Link, is he that cute in person? Oh, Lord, okay. All right, I'm back. So, again, congratulations. And next up, I would like to bring up to present the Advocacy Award is Dallas Deputy City Manager, Kimberly Beiser-Tolbert.
Well, since women are running things, you can go ahead and call me the mayor. I'll take that tonight. Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here as I was sitting in my seat and I kept kept looking at this sign about it being Women in Film in Dallas. I don't know why I had to swim way out here tonight. I wish I would have just come to Dallas and saved me a trip, but I'm so honored to be here. And it's a very special time for me because I get an opportunity to not only celebrate, but introduce you to my best friend. I want to extend my warmest congratulations to all of the outstanding women here this evening on this wonderful achievement. My friend Cheryl Pelote Williams, she's a CEO of multiple firms, but she's my sister from another mother. It is not every day that you get an opportunity to come up and make comments about someone who has such a personal connection with you. Oftentimes in my position when I'm introducing people, I don't know who they are. But tonight, I know this woman. We met over 5 years ago, and it's a funny story, so I have to tell you guys. We were actually in Dallas, and we had both attended an event where I actually had won an award. And when the event was over, the valet line was so long, my feet were hurting. Of course, I didn't tell anyone. Her feet was hurting. She was sitting on the curb. And so I could see this beautiful woman out of the corner of my eye, dressed to perfection, sitting on the curb with her shoes off. And so my first reaction was, oh my gosh, she is bold or she's crazy. And after a few minutes of us kind of just making eye at each other, because I'm thinking, you crazy, and you looking at me, she finally got up off the curb and she came over and she introduced herself. And she said, hi, my name is Cheryl. And I said, and my name is Kim. And then we started admiring each other's hair, because I know my hair is still cute. And she was wearing her hair really short then, too. So I was like, girl, who do your hair? Who do your hair? And so we exchanged phone numbers. And I will tell you, from that very moment, our friendship story, it began. You already mentioned what the Topaz Award is about. And when you think about vision and you think about strength, that's what Cheryl is. She is someone who gives, and she gives when you need her the most. We have an ability to hold each other accountable. We encourage each other. And we make absolutely sure that we remind each other daily about the appointments that we need to make with ourselves. Her support helps me get through the crazy city council meetings and all of the other things that I face in life. When you think about this gemstone, this topaz, it has also been thought to soothe, heal, and remotivate the body, directing energy to where it has the greatest impact. Cheryl is the founder of Soul Reborn. She has worked tirelessly to help women see themselves and rediscover their worth. And she does it in simple ways. It's those text messages when she says, hey girl, I love you. God's got you. You are amazing. And I can tell you there are many women, not just me, who get those daily reminders and messages from Cheryl. You see, we got our own little fan club over here. Let me say that her vision for healing and making sure that women heal has expanded to one of the most incredible magazines on the market today. Cheryl Magazine is a quarterly information source that focuses on highlighting the amazing work of not only powerful women, but those women that sometimes we don't even know who are out there doing their thing. Ever the achiever, Cheryl has published multiple best-selling titles that motivates others to move forward, and I'm gonna use her word, unapologetically. That's what she reminds us to do. And she does that in power, and she does that in purpose. Maya Angelou once said that nothing will work unless you do. Well, let me tell you, Cheryl is one of the hardest working women that I know. And there are others who also think that as well. She's received multiple national and international media features and mentions and several awards for her global leadership and influence. She's a recipient of the notable Mara Service Award, one of the highest achievements for women in service in the state of Texas, and also the recipient of the Presidential Service Award from President Biden. She was selected as one of Dallas's top 25 women and was honored as a Female Success Factor Award recipient. In 2017 and 2018, she was the winner of the Indie Author Literary Trailblazer Award, Global Smashers Award, Who's Who in Dallas Black Publishing. As a filmmaker and a master collaborator, Cheryl has been the executive producer for multiple films and documentaries, including the highly acclaimed 20 Pearls, which is the story of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, was narrated by Hollywood actress Felicia Rashad, and the recent Lynx documentary, The Invitation. She's been fortunate to see her projects receive awards from HBO Max. She's now on the Oscar shortlist and screening at over 100 film festivals globally. See, Cheryl represents that can-do spirit. She genuinely cares about helping others reach their potential and has helped over 145 individuals in their quest to becoming best-selling authors. See, I believe that the true character of a person is measured by their service to others. That's who Cheryl is. She's a shining testament to what it means to be my sister's keeper. And she's dedicated her life through all of the different projects, books, films, all the things that she's done. She continues to carry the message of hope and inspiration that is transforming the lives of so many women across the world. Cheryl, you deserve this and so much more. And I'm thankful every single day that you got off the curb. I want you to keep stepping, my sister. I thank God for you, I love you, and I love the Pelote Williamson family for sharing you with me. God bless you.
Multi-best-selling author, award-winning filmmaker and executive producer, transformational speaker and certified success coach, Cheryl Pelote Williamson. As an accomplished visionary author and a collaborative project producer, Cheryl has led hundreds into co-authorship and media favor through inspiring anthologies that help men and women tell stories that deserve to be heard.
Cheryl, how many people do you know every day they get up, they get on Facebook to be motivated? Oh, what did so-and-so say today? Because I've had people say, oh, you didn't say anything today. I said, God didn't give me anything. And that's when I knew I had to do something different. Because I don't need people to look for me every day to be motivated. Me, I'd rather be transformed any day than motivated for a moment. Because transformation is forever. We share our stories, we help other people heal. Mm-hmm. And those are the reasons that I write the books that I write, that I involve myself in the projects that I take, because I want the opportunity to bring other people along, other women that look like me, that have been hurt or betrayed or whatever that is, and for us to realize that we can rise again. Yes. We don't have to just be held down by our circumstance. And putting it out in books and stage plays and film, we allow other people the ability to be free. Yes. Yeah. This is a question that people ask me very often. How often should I serve? How often should I give? My answer, as often as you breathe. That's the legacy that I want to leave the world. Good evening. I am absolutely honored to stand before you this evening, for I did not meet this road by the traditional path. I was an author, and I realized through telling stories, it was a very powerful tool that I could use. So I went from being an author to producing my first stage play, Sole Purpose, at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters, which opened to sellout performances. As a result of that, I realized that I have had a gift that I needed to use in order to bring other people to purpose. So I went from stage plays to my very first film, which was Illegal Rose, starring Jasmine Guy, which opened at so many film festivals. And I realized how important it was to share our voice. So I stand here before you as a woman who takes it absolutely as my responsibility to open up doors of opportunity to women to excel to your very highest purpose. I go out of my way to make sure that I hire women. Nothing against the men. Nothing at all against the men. But all the directors that I've had, they are women. I take it very seriously as an executive producer. And as my friend Kim said, I want to tell just a quick story. I have no film experience whatsoever. I was supposed to be a lawyer. But I realized that I have the power to manifest the life of my dreams. So I take it very seriously to be the example, to show people that even when you don't have the experience, when you have the drive and determination, that you can accomplish anything. Anything in this life, you can accomplish if you believe it. If you believe that your mindset is your superpower, then you can believe it. I am a person who believes and walks out every single day what it means to be an advocate. I advocate for people every single day of my life. I know that that is a part of my legacy. It is why I was created. And when I am no longer here, it is my true desire that people will say that that is a woman who cared about people, who wanted to make sure that every single person had an opportunity to be their very best self. And even on their worst day, that I would be there to help them know, I see you, I hear you, and you matter. So I want to thank the Topaz Film Festival and everybody who nominated me, who saw things in me, maybe days that I didn't see them. I thank my family for being here. I thank for my husband for the days where he was the only one that was saying, you can do this, because everybody else was saying, girl, you are so crazy. I cannot believe that you are doing this. But I stand here before you tonight, so the next time that you get on Delta Airlines, my film is screening on Delta Airlines. My film is screening on Amazon Prime. Why am I sharing that with you? To let you know that if I can do it, you can do it. We all have the power to be advocates. Thank you for having me here tonight. I'm honored. I'm so honored.
Congratulations again, Miss Cheryl, and those coats, though. I know. Okay, I was like, she walked in, I was like, yes. Yes, I need that in my life. So again, congratulations. Thank you for all that you are doing and will continue to do. Next up is the Gratitude Award, and we're a little bit ahead of time, so I'm gonna go off script. Just a little bit. I'm not gonna get crazy. But next up to present the Gratitude Award is previous Topaz Achievement Award winner and Dallas talent agent Linda McAllister. And I'm going to say that both of these ladies that are about to come up here have been instrumental in my career. So I just want to say thank you to Linda, who is about to present this award, to Beth, who cast me in my first co-star role and has pretty much called me in for everything that she has cast to date. And I just, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that's a hard act to follow. Well, it is my sincere honor and pleasure to introduce one of the powerhouse pros in the Texas entertainment industry, and this year's recipient of the Topaz Gratitude Award, CSA Casting Director Beth Sepko Lindsay. The Gratitude Award, I'm going to start crying, Nikki. The Gratitude Award is presented to an outstanding individual who has served as a gracious benefactor and contributed time and effort to television and film presence in the Metroplex and the great state of Texas. Previous recipients include Chuck Norris, Gary Kogel, Larry Hagman, Ed Delaney, Don Stokes, Dennis Bishop, Steve Kujay, and the Beasley family at MPS Productions. Beth has helped craft the landscape of the Texas film industry for over 20 years, and my agency has had the honor of working with Beth during all these years. It takes an exceptional casting director to be able to see the vision of directors and writers and to encapsulate that image in a written breakdown to share with agents. Beth is a wizard at this and gives agents great tools for submissions. As an agent, I can't tell you how much I appreciate Beth, because she absolutely takes care of agents more than anyone that I know of, and I cannot thank her enough. She's been a superb associate and friend to production, directors, agents, and actors. Producers and directors' confidence in her has given her the chance to cast many Texas actors for roles that were meant for a better-known actor. Through the expertise she has shown in understanding what directors and producers need for the project. They want the best talent and not necessarily from LA and New York. I can attest as a talent agent that Beth has given so many opportunities to Texas actors that are now on their way or are on their way to be established as some of the premier talent in Texas and beyond. Plus, she's also given some named Texas talent some great opportunities. Janine Turner still talks about her role as Katie McCoy on Friday Night Lights. It's one that she cherishes and is so grateful to Beth for her belief in her. Barry Corbin played J.R. Ewing's attorney at the reading of J.R.'s will on the last Dallas series, thanks to Beth. He said it was a sentimental reunion with some of the cast from the first Dallas series, because she was also in that series and wasn't supposed to be, but he looked very different, so it's all good. Very different. He's bald-headed now. He was then brought in by Beth for Tulsa King and a recurring guest star role working with Sylvester Stallone and Taylor Sheridan. Beth gives great feedback to her talent when possible, and it's always honest and constructive. She's positive when warranted and provides critiques when needed, but always to the benefit of the actor and the agent. When auditions were live, agents never knew what was transpiring in the casting room. It was a kind of a terrifying moment for us. A lot of prayers. And she's so supportive. She is so supportive in the room when actors nail it and does her best to guide when an actor stumbles. Whether in the room or self-taping, she continues to offer notes and suggestions, and many times with great humor, considering the creative ways agents and actors uniquely process information. How that goes. We're kind of in our own little world sometimes. Beth has 6 Emmy nominations and one well-deserved Emmy Award win for the highly acclaimed TV series Friday Night Lights. Yeah. Very well deserved. That incredible series alone propelled many Texas actors into the national spotlight through Beth's carefully crafted handling of casting. She is generous in sharing her knowledge of this industry with actors through workshops and notes to agents. I cannot say enough about notes to agents. She's awesome with that. So, Beth is married to the brilliant DP and cinematographer Jimmy Lindsay. So this duo is dynamic. She's an advocate and supporter of Texas Media Production Alliance and has assisted us during Lobby Day at the state capitol. This industry is like a newborn that never sleeps, and we are all the parents. Up all day and night, get very little sleep and time off. We'll get emails from Beth at all hours due to her need to ensure all is taken care of in a timely manner. We sometimes reply in just a few minutes, which we were talking about earlier, which can create a humorous repartee of why the heck are we all up and working at these hours? So yeah, this industry is like spit up, you little baby, colicky baby. Beth is also one of the nicest and most giving people you will ever meet. But her expectations are high, and she expects us to work as hard as she does. She has worked with many acclaimed writers, producers, and directors in Texas. Richard Linklater, Robert Rodriguez, John Ridley, Quentin Tarantino, Kimberly Pierce, John Lee Hancock, Mike Judge, David Nutter, Max Winkler, Gary Brown, Suzanne Weinert, and more. And now she is grounded in the Taylor Sheridan universe in casting 1883, Tulsa King, and now Bass Reeves. Now let's enjoy a video highlighting Beth's accomplishments as a premier casting director. And please give your loudest applause to our own Beth Sepko Lindsay.
I was so worried there was going to be a video of me after I watched. I was like, there is a reason I am behind the camera, not in front of it. Man, there's so much I want to say. I feel like an actor who walked into the audition room without my sides. That's going to bite me in the butt, I'm sure. Thank you, Linda, for those very kind words. I am fortunate to, in my career, have received an Emmy and 2 Artios Awards. But there is no award that fills my heart as much as this one does today. I started in this industry 30 years ago, first as a talent agent, which can be a thankless and fruitless, more than fruitful job sometimes. And I quickly decided, or maybe not so quickly, that it would not be my long-term career.
But today, as a casting director, I cannot do my job without talent agents. And I am grateful for those who work tirelessly for their actors and with me at all hours of the day and night to serve my jobs and to do what I could not do. And I try to express my gratitude and appreciate them, or appreciation for them to them, as much as possible. And I hope they feel that in my notes in the night. I also once dreamt to have a career in acting. And I think many people in this room will tell you they can see that my favorite part of my job is reading opposite actors in the audition room. I miss that and hope we one day get back to that. But I did realize early on that I did not have the strength. I was not strong enough spiritually or emotionally to put myself out there for what is sometimes judgment and criticism and rejection. And didn't think I could do that on a somewhat regular basis if I'm lucky. And again, I cannot do my job without actors, without the artists and performers who choose to do what I cannot. So for them, I am also grateful. I have much gratitude, of course, for the storytellers, the writers, the producers, the directors, who trust me to bring their vision and their ideas to life. And of course, I have incredible gratitude for my family, my husband, my daughters, and the extended family who tolerate this job that can be all-consuming. So I thank the Women in Film Dallas and all of the creatives who I spend my days and years with, and you have deepened my gratitude and keep my heart full. So I thank you for all of this.
So people shouldn't give me time, right? Congratulations, Beth. So everything that Linda said is true. Like that, it triggered me because I remember a time when we were in the audition room and I went to audition for a role on Dallas. And I think at that time we had started going to the self-tapes and all of that stuff. And I went in the room and I was nervous. And you know, Beth, she still gives that energy and everything, and I'm nervous and I am messing up. When I tell you that was probably the worst audition I've ever had in my life. I left out. I was telling my husband I'm crying alone. I'm never going to act again in my life. And then I get an email from Linda with notes from Beth. And Beth, and I don't know if you remember this, it was something like, I don't know what's wrong with Nikki, but she needs to fix it. I was like, oh, okay. And I fixed it. So, thank you for fixing me. And I just gratitude. So next up is to present the Legacy Award is Christina Putnam. Is it Christine or Christina? Christina. Christina is a content creator and credentialed media for Turner Classic Movies, a college instructor, and a classic film enthusiast. Christina has been working on a biography entitled Thelma Ritter, Hollywood's favorite New Yorker, to be published by University Press of Mississippi next year. So, up to present the award.
Hello there. I'm excited to be here tonight to present the Legacy Film Award from the Topaz Film Festival for Dorothy Malone. And Dorothy Malone was an actress, mother, and a trailblazer. Even though she was born in Chicago in 1924, Dallas became her home. She was raised here, attended Ursuline Convent. Anybody in here attend Ursuline Convent? Highland Park High School. And she won several awards for swimming and horseback riding, and that would definitely come in handy during her 50-year film career when she was making westerns. Malone attended SMU, and it was here that an RKO talent scout spotted her in a play, and voila, a Hollywood contract just showed up. She became one of RKO's brunette starlets, taking acting, dancing, singing, and diction lessons. And after 2 years, RKO let her go because they just didn't have any vision. But Warner Brothers did. Warner Brothers Studio knew she had something, that electrical magic, that caught the attention of the higher-ups in the audience. Her billing then, when she was at Warner Brothers, changed from Dorothy Maloney to Dorothy Malone. And her third film with Warner showcased her in a small but very sexy role as a book clerk in an iconic scene in The Big Sleep with none other than Humphrey Bogart. Her westerns at Warner's made good use of her ability to ride horseback while looking absolutely fabulous. Not an easy feat, ladies, come on. In 1949, Warner Brothers didn't renew her contract, so she decided to seriously pursue her acting abilities in New York with the American Theater Wing. There, she found work in TV and in B-movies, appearing 3 times with the most popular film team at the time, Martin and Lewis. She went from brunette to blonde and became Doris Day's sister in Young at Heart in 1954. And then her star quotient began to rise. With that blonde hair, she became even more luminous. Then she was in Battle Cry with Tab Hunter. She did several films, some with Frank Sinatra, 2 with Randolph Scott, and she even did a movie with Liberace. In 1956, Douglas Sirk selected her for the role of Mary Lee Hadley in Written on the Wind with Rock Hudson, Lauren Bacall, and Robert Stack. And Dorothy Malone's rhythmic dancing, her no-holds-bar attitude in going for the man of her dreams, and her utter ruthlessness as Hadley earned her an Oscar as Best Supporting Actress in 1957. Well earned. Her role in another Douglas Sirk film, 1957's Tarnished Angels, saw her appear again with Rock Hudson and Robert Stack, but this time she was Laverne Schumann, a sexy parachutist. Her westerns were numerous. 2 Guys from Texas, Tension at Table Rock, Quantes, that one was with Fred McMurray. Pillars of the Sky, 5 Guns, West, Colorado Territory, and the Nevadan, and more. On the screen, she could hold her own with those untamed men of the range, ride and shoot with the best of them. She also appeared with James Cagney in Man of a Thousand Faces, and also in one of her really cult favorites now as Diana Barrymore in Too Much Too Soon. And much like Written on the Wind, because it revealed such a tumultuous existence, she played John Barrymore's daughter, Diana Barrymore, and Barrymore was played by Errol Flynn. Both Written on the Wind and Too Much Too Soon have become like cult classics. People want to see them over and over again, request them at film festivals. In 1959, Malone married actor Jacques Bergerac, and the following year, daughter Mimi was born. Her sister Diane came 2 years later in 1962. Unfortunately, the marriage didn't last. And by 1960, her film career was undergoing a change. She was in The Last Voyage with Robert Stack and gave the most dramatic scene in the film as the woman trapped in a sinking ship, begging her husband to leave her to a watery grave and take their daughter to safety. Malone's film offers in the early 60s, however, were not as high profile, but she spent much of that time with her family rearing her daughters, Mimi and Diane. The most exciting offer, however, arrived in 1964. Malone received top billing in the first primetime soap opera ever on TV, Peyton Place. Can anybody hum that tune? Da, 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 da. No. Her role as Constance Mackenzie became one of the most admired characters during the 1960s, and she did help promote big hair. Thank you, Dallas. Malone didn't hesitate about taking a role on television. She said, "I didn't even give it a thought. I just enjoyed the acting." Malone called her Peyton Place co-star Mia Farrow delightful and Ryan O'Neal adorable. He had a lot of sex appeal, she said. And I was always crazy about Ed Nelson. Ed Nelson portrayed Dr. Michael Rossi. The feeling was mutual. Ed Nelson said that Dorothy Malone was always a joy. When I had a scene with her, I knew it was going to be a good one. Dorothy had one quality, though, that they never captured, and that was her marvelous sense of humor. We used to laugh around the set all the time. Dorothy Malone was definitely a trailblazer. At the time, Oscar winners just didn't do television. But her daughter Mimi, who's here tonight, once said she knew the series was going to be a success. Unfortunately, in 1965, Dorothy Malone had a life-threatening illness and had to have 7 hours of surgery to remove multiple blood clots on her lungs. Her daughter Mimi was 5, and her daughter Diane was 3, I believe. Updates on Dorothy Malone's condition at that time were flashed around the world on headlines. It even appeared on the electronic ticker tape in New York Times Square. But Mimi said her faith has sustained her. She was a survivor. So after the excitement of Peyton Place, Dorothy Malone did appear in one of America's first miniseries, Rich Man, Poor Man, and went on to reprise her role as Constance Mackenzie in the 2 made-for-TV movies about Peyton Place. Her last iconic feature film was Basic Instinct, in which she appeared fleetingly but intellibly in the role of a woman who had killed her children. Dorothy Malone wouldn't do that. No. But Dorothy Malone's favorite role has always been that of being a mother. Living in Hollywood, she always seemed to make an effort to ensure that her 2 daughters were well grounded and moved them back to Dallas in the 1960s because she wanted her children to get out of that crazy Southern California scene. I would too. In her later years, Dorothy Malone enjoyed being with her family and her 6 grandchildren. She also liked watching Dancing with the Stars and enjoyed receiving fan mail, which often would arrive from all over the world. Keep in mind that, Dorothy Malone is a trailblazer. In just a second, we're going to see a wonderful video put together by Gordon K. Smith, who's a Dallas-based filmmaker, writer, historian, and college instructor. Thank you, Gordon.
Oh, there isn't much to tell.
What's the matter?
I'm just wondering if you have to,
Oh, not necessarily.
Little things like that make enough. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Same to you. I can't tell you how much your being here means to me.
Cole, it's so exciting. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Your mother wanted to come too, Cole, but you couldn't persuade your grandfather.
Oh, I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me.
Well, the gang from Yale will be out there rooting for you.
Good.
Why, it's only a weasel.
Hey, look out! What's the matter? Hey, get your friend off my neck, will you?
Say, young man, USO has a hayride every Friday night. I highly recommend it instead of getting drunk.
Cigarette?
I shouldn't smoke on the street.
I'll go on.
breathing a little heavy for just a kiss? You're not in condition, are you? What's the matter, all work and no playing around?
Mr. Todd, I'm breathing heavily because I happen to be a perfectly normal young woman. My heart beats, my pulse pounds, my blood count is high. I have all the biological impulses that anybody else has.
Don't sell Lucy short.
There's only so much a woman can do, and no more. I speak from personal experience with you.
You know, you're remarkable. You've got your axe buried in Kyle's head and you're grinding it at the same time.
I can think of much better things than making smart talk.
The envelope, please. Dorothy Malone, and written on the wind.
Thank you all so much. I'd like to, I don't know how much time we have, but I'd like to accept this award in the name of my late little brother, Bill.
Would you go to Matt Ord? I need this plane. Like an alcoholic needs his drink.
Where will I find Mr. Ord?
Raj, don't forget it.
Get away from me. I'm sick at heart for ever letting my hair down with you. For ever saying I want to walk out on Roger. For letting you sweet talk me and kiss me.
Isn't there something else we can use?
You and Jill, get to those boats.
The only way we can get through this deal is with a torch.
Oh, for God's sake, Cliff, will you take Jill and go? Will you please do what I ask?
Darling, you're asking the impossible. You know I won't leave you.
I don't think you have the right to ask me that question, Mr. Stripling.
You might just as well forget you ever saw him because I'm the man you're gonna marry.
But Dana, if you loved me, you won't gamble your life like this. Remember, you're gambling mine, too.
Peyton Place, starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie.
Then you weren't married when I was born. No. Who is my real father? We couldn't marry. His wife was killed, and we couldn't marry.
Mother, what are you doing here?
Oh, shh. I'm supposed to be a secret.
I thought you were in Nantucket.
Oh, it was freezing there, and nobody came to visit. I met this real nice man. Pa said he just wanted my money. So he sent for me. It's a big secret. The newspapers, you know.
Hi. Hazel, this is Nick. I told you all about him. Nick, this is Hazel Dobkins.
You're the shooter, aren't you? Well, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Can I speak to you for a minute, please?
Honey, would you wait for me in the car? I'll be right there.
Goodbye, shooter.
Gordon. Wonderful, Gordon. Great. Thank you, Gordon. Mimi Vanderstraten said her mother was always down home and caring about her family, but when she would turn it on for the camera, it was like magic to watch. Mimi, it's always been like magic to watch Dorothy Malone on the screen. The little screen, now on our iPhones, our iPads, and our laptops, Dorothy Malone's magic can be everywhere. She left a legacy to the film and television industries, to Texas women, to working mothers, and to anyone who follows their heart's desires. She believed in not being afraid and having faith in her own abilities. The women in film Legacy Award is presented to Mimi Vanderstraten, Dorothy Malone's daughter.
I'd like to thank the Academy. No, I've always wanted to do that. Sorry, just had to do it. No, on behalf of myself and my sister, Diane, and our families, I want to thank you very much for honoring our mother with this wonderful award. Gordon, thank you for that compilation. Oh my gosh, brought tears to my eyes. So thank you so much. I just want you all to know that she loved this industry. She loved acting. She loved the people. She loved her castmates. She loved the crew. She loved hanging. As you all know, a lot of acting is hurry up and wait on the set. It takes forever and ever and ever to shoot anything. So there's a lot of hanging around on the set. And she just loved talking with the crew. And she always had crushes on her directors. So she goes, that's who I always had a crush. And she wanted to direct. So it was very eventful and never dull, as you might imagine, growing up with the drama queen. And so it was a very exciting and fun life. She made it very fun for us. She was had such a young, young at heart approach to life. And she was very serious about everything and had a deep, deep faith, but just also just knew how to laugh and have fun. And what was so interesting is she was such a dramatic actress, and but she loved comedy, and she always how you get typed in certain castings, and she just I want to do comedy so much because she just was really funny, and so she just had loved to laugh at life, and had a lot of ups and downs. She worked for 66 decades. Look at the span of her life, and so she saw a lot of changes in the industry, kind of got it in right at the end of that golden era of Hollywood, and which was really a special time. She had really special stories from that era and loved it, and then just saw the changing of everything, and she was very ahead of her time as far as she loved changing, and she loved traditions, but she just always was very forward thinking, and she wanted to direct, but she couldn't direct. A woman couldn't direct at that era, but she just loved all that, and so she just was not afraid to kind of do some things like going from films to TV, which was actually very foreboding kind of back then, going from being an Academy Award-winning star then to go to doing TV. But she was also very practical. She was one of the early working single moms. So she knew how to balance all that and the challenges of all that, did, I think, a great job but at that. And so she just mentored people and loved Dallas. And I just want to thank the Women in Film Dallas for just really presenting this Legacy Award. She leaves a beautiful legacy, and you all do too. And I'm just so honored to be included with all these amazing women that are honored tonight. You all just do great things in each of your areas of work, and it's very inspiring and makes you just proud. So thank you very much. We appreciate it so much.
Congratulations to Dorothy Malone, Mimi. Wonderful for the Legacy Award. And that essentially concludes our show tonight, but I do want to remind everybody to come out tomorrow for our screenings and our Q&As. We have the Texas production panel and workshops, also your leaflet and your program. Grab that little leaflet. There's discounts around the little shops here. You can go get you a drink, $1 beer, I think I saw. So just take advantage of all of that, and I just want to thank everybody again for coming out. Have a wonderful evening, and I'm going to be like Miss Cheryl and go and sit on the curb and take off my shoes.